Hi, this is Connor White, and this is my midterm submission. The goal of Objective 1 was to use a TMP sensor to activate an LED. In order to get the LED to activate, I need to increase the TMP sensor's temperature. I am doing this by blowing on the TMP sensor with warm air. Conversely, in order to get the LED to turn off, I need to decrease the TMP sensor's temperature. I succeed at doing this by pressing an ice pack against the TMP sensor. Now I will go into a little bit of detail as to the setup and configuration for this objective. As you can see, the green jumper near the top of my breadboard powers the TMP, and the yellow jumpers near the bottom of my breadboard ground both the TMP and the LED. The TMP is connected to one of the analog ports. The LED and its limiting resistor are connected to one of the digital ports. The goal of Objective 2 is to control the RGB LED using the TMP sensor and to provide feedback on the serial monitor when and only when the push button is pressed. As you can see, the RGB LED is equipped with 3 individual limiting resistors, one for each of the individual LEDs contained within the RGB LED. Each of these internal LEDs are connected to their own individual digital port. The push button is connected to its own digital port and has its own limiting resistor. The TMP sensor is both powered by and grounded by the Arduino board and communicates through one of the analog ports. Here is a video of the serial monitor from the previous example. Its speed has been increased for viewing purposes. Here you can see the Arduino's readings. Any reading of 80 degrees Fahrenheit or greater resulted in the red light being on. Any reading between 50 degrees Fahrenheit and 80 degrees Fahrenheit resulted in the yellow-green light being on. This next clip shows the result of the TMP having a reading of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or less. As you can see, the setup is exactly the same as before, only the RGB LED is that bright cyan instead of the yellow, green, or red from earlier. In order to produce this dramatic change in temperature, I store the Arduino board in my freezer for about an hour before pulling it out and plugging it back in. This strategy worked, and I was able to record the Arduino operating under the effects of a frigid TMP sensor. Here's a video clip of the serial monitor from the previous example where the TMP sensor had a reading of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or less. It has been sped up for viewing purposes.